Scottie Barnes is establishing himself as a legitimate superstar. And with no Brandon Ingram, he has to be the one to step up if Toronto is going to pull off the upset and come back from starting down 2-0. The Raptors have overall been the better team throughout these past 4 games. They did collapse late in Game 5 and almost again last night, but on the whole, they have been the more dominant team ever since this series first left Cleveland. That was a ridiculous shot by RJ Barrett in overtime to force a Game 7. If they win this series, that is going down in Raptors lore right behind Kawhi's game winner in 2019. That was shades of Tyrese Halliburton with how high it bounced off the heel before finally dropping. I had been wanting the Cavs to advance up until this point, but I now do really want to see what Toronto can do in round 2. It's been proven that Detroit isn't the team they look to be heading into the playoffs. And if they ended up facing the Magic instead, it does feel like the Raptors might be able to take it, just with how gutsy their wins this series have been. This has quietly been the most competitive of all the round 1 matchups. The home team is undefeated so far, but that hasn't been a guarantee in any of these past few games, and certainly isn't in a Game 7 environment where, as we all know, anything can happen. And coming off a strong overtime win, I do think that the Raptors have momentum on their side. They did obviously almost lose the game again late in Game 6. They did get very lucky that Cleveland wasn't quite able to pull it out, but they should still be riding high after that overtime win, and the Cavs are likely feeling a little despondent at not having been able to close it out in 6 when they certainly have the firepower and the ability to. The fact that a healthy Cavs team has struggled this much to dispatch an injured Toronto squad is very problematic. Even if they escape this series, I don't have high hopes for their chances of a late postseason run. It is looking like Donovan Mitchell will have to wait a while longer before he's able to see the conference finals and beyond. If Cleveland goes out in round 1, I'd be interested to see the level of commitment Mitchell has to this team. He hasn't quite risen to the occasion like he usually does in the playoffs, so more of the blame for a loss would lie on his shoulders than it usually does, but he still might feel like this Cavs team just isn't headed anywhere fast, which is what it looks like to me. If he does move on from the Cavs, he may need to head to a team where he's in more of a Jamal Murray situation if he wants to start seeing some more postseason success instead of being that lead guy for yet another team that's unable to break through. The Cavs' big issue in this game was their three-point shooting. Similar to the Celtics, when they aren't falling, they just haven't looked all that great. And we saw that in this game with him playing from behind for the majority of it. The Cavs do still have the more complete team top to bottom, and luckily for them, they do have a home game ahead of them in Game 7, but the Raptors have brought the energy this series in a way Cleveland hasn't, and that can be the difference maker in a must-win scenario. So although I am still taking the Cavs in this matchup, I do hope that the Raptors win, and I wouldn't at all be surprised by them pulling out another unlikely yet gutsy win.